Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel Know About Embedded Systems. So in today's video we will understand one of the important thing that is called as ECU. So this ECU you might be knowing already. In almost all our cars or almost all our vehicles definitely will find this ECUs. So when we say an ECU, ECU stands for Electronic Control Unit. So what is this ECU? What are the functionalities and how internally it is designed? We'll try to understand in brief. So before starting the video, if you are a new viewer to my channel, kindly subscribe my YouTube channel and gain the knowledge on embedded systems. So guys, if you consider any vehicles, especially our modern cars and the top end cars such as your Volvo, Benz, Audi, Toyota and a Ferrari and so on, if you consider any modern cars or a very high-end modern cars, you will find more than 20 to 30 different ECUs in the vehicle, in the cars. So you can see here for ABS, engine control system, stability control, transmission control, keyless entry, TPMS and so on like that. So if you consider any modern cars, you're going to find more than 20 to 25 different ECUs you will find in the vehicle. But what is this ECU and what will be there inside the ECU? That part we will understand. So what is this ECU? You know that already. So ECU, when we say an ECU, it's an electronic control unit. Basically it's an embedded circuit. As I told you, if you go back to my introduction slide, you can see this is an ECU. So this is basically a PCB, special PCB, which is designed and kept it in a metal case. The outer layer, whatever you're seeing here, this is a metal case. So this is our electronic circuit. I will have microcontroller and various different ICs will be there, and various different sensor lines will be there, and communication lines also will be there. That I'll tell. Electronic control unit or ECU. What is this ECU and what is the main functionality of ECU? So when I say an ECU, there are four important functionalities that ECU is going to perform in the vehicle. So there are four major functionalities. First one is called sensing. So you can see here the four points I kept it here. One is sensing, second one is thinking, and third one is actuation or acting, and the fourth one is transmit or receive. There are four very important functionalities that ECU is going to perform. What is this sense? The first point, whatever you're seeing, the ECU. So whenever we say an ECU is going to be connected with a different sensors. You can see here. So various sensors are going to be connected to the ECU, either one-to-one or through the communication channel. Any one way we are going to use. Usually we are going to use a communication channel like a CAN or a LIN protocol we will use to transmit the various sensor information to the ECU. Okay, these sensors are nothing but it can be your vehicle speed measurement, wheel speed measurement, or it can be engine temperature measurement, or it can be accident detection, or it can be your seat belt monitoring and so on. Various different parameters we're going to measure. Even a steering angle, how much steering got rotated, that angle also we can measure. Speed measurement and fuel level, all those type of sensors will be available, and these sensors will detect, and the sensor information will be transmitted to the ECU either via protocol or directly one-to-one. So this is called the first point, called as a sensing. The second one point, thinking, are nothing but a programming. So according to the sensor information, ECU we have to program it. Best example I'll give you. If the speed is going more than 100 km per hour, we have to give one beep sound or a warning signal. We have to develop the code. So that's nothing but thinking. Thinking is nothing but programming. We have to develop a programming to the ECU. We have to develop a program to the ECU in order to, according to the requirement, we have to develop in order to take some necessary actions based on the sensor information. So this is my second part. Third part is act, nothing but actuation. Based on the sensor information, we have to trigger some of the actuations. Nothing but your best example I'll give you, your airbag system. As soon vehicle meets with an accident, immediately airbag should get open. That is called as an act, right? And whenever engine speed exceeds or engine temperature goes higher level, then we have to apply some coolant mechanism. We have to apply some coolant mechanism. That's called as an actuation. Like next one example, if doors are not closed properly, we have to give some alarm signal. If seat belt is not properly locked, then also we have to give alarm signal. Like this, different actuations we will take care based on the sensor information. That is called as a third one. The fourth one is called transmit or receive. So in our automotive system, we don't use only one ECU. If you go back and see the second slide, I have shown you more than 20 to 30 different ECU. In the vehicle, you will find more than 20 to 30 different ECUs. And these ECUs will communicate from one ECU to other ECU with a proper information. Sometimes one ECU will transmit a data from one ECU to other ECU, and one more ECU will receive a data from other ECU to the next ECU. Like that, the communication also very important in our automotive system in order to pass some sensor information and also some of the actuation information also we wanted to pass it. That communication can be done by either CAN or from any one of the protocol. So there are different 4 major types of protocols we can see. One is a CAN, one is a CAN FD, Ethernet and FlexRay and LIN. 5 major protocols we'll be seeing in our automotive system. Especially CAN and CAN FD will be using most of the time. Okay, so like that, 4 important functionalities are defined for the ECU: sensing, thinking, actuation, and transmitting and receiving the data. So this is a simplified explanation of the ECU. Now let us see how the ECU simplified block diagram of an ECU. So let us assume this is my ECU. In this ECU, nothing but electronic control unit will have sensors. So power supply will be there, and as a first element of the ECU will be a sensor. So sensors, as is shown in the previous diagram, sensors will get a various information from the various sensing devices, like your wheel speed or your engine temperature monitoring system or steering angle and so on, like that. Various sensors will be there, and these sensors will get some input data. Sensors will get a data, and that will be passed on to the ADC, analog to digital converter, and this ADC will produce a appropriate digital value, and it will be passed on to the core microcontroller. So in the core microcontroller, we're going to perform thinking ability, nothing but our programming. So we're going to program our core microcontroller, where we'll be developing 2 major softwares we're going to develop. One is application layer and one is a base level, and there will be something called as RTE. So this I'll explain later when it comes to our AutoSAR environment. There are going to be 3 major types of softwares we're going to develop to the microcontroller. One is application level programming, second one is RTE layer programming, and one more will be base software programming. So this microcontroller is going to be a kind of thinking circuit. So since we are going to develop a coding programming according to the input data, our microcontroller will think, and finally it is going to act. Third point is act, or you can say actuation. So in the actuation, based on sensor information, we're going to actuate various actuators, like a motor, it can be lights, relay, LED, buzzer, speaker, and so on, like that. So according to requirement, we're going to trigger some of the mechanism. It can be motor, it can be light, it can be relays, sound, so on, like that. So that is the third point, as I told in the previous slide. The fourth point is communication, transmit and receive data. Like sometimes after doing some actuation, we need to transmit a data to the other ECUs as well. So in that situation, we will use either CAN or a LIN protocol to transmit or to receive. So to transmit and receive, we will use a CAN bus or a CAN protocol or a LIN protocol we will use. So this is a simplified block diagram of an ECU. I hope this is clear. So finally, I'm just going to show you how the ECUs looks in the car. So this is how the simplified ECU mechanism in the vehicle. So we'll be having more than 10 plus ECUs, and these 10 plus ECUs are going to connect to one communication channel that is called as CAN. The red color whatever you're seeing here, so this is our CAN. The red line whatever you're seeing now, so this is your CAN bus or CAN FD we will call, and to this CAN FD various ECUs are connected. You can see ECU 1 to ECU 10. So there are totally 10 ECUs I have shown here, and these 10 ECUs are going to connect to a common communication line that is called as CAN, or sometimes it is also called as CAN FD. CAN or CAN FD. So with this CAN and CAN FD, we are able to transmit a data in every millisecond. Every 10 millisecond we're able to transmit data, even 5 millisecond we're able to transmit data, even we're able to transmit data at 1 millisecond as well. From one ECU to other ECU, we're able to transmit a group of data, chunk of data we're able to transmit from one ECU to other ECU in terms of millisecond. With the help of this, nowadays we have modern cars with various electronics applications like ABS, airbag system, anti-lock braking system, tire pressure monitoring system, engine control system, steering control system, and so on. In automotive system, CAN and CAN FD will play a very important role in designing automotive system. Okay, so I hope this video is an informative video. If you feel this video is an informative video, please click on like button and subscribe my YouTube channel.